autoimmune, disease, there's somebody on there that says that plant-based has cured all their diseases and cured their autoimmune disease. So what is it? No wonder we're all so incredibly confused. It is overwhelming. And after decades of teaching people nutrition, it is such a personal and sacred experience. Nobody can put the fork to your mouth. And I have time and time again, clients who tell me, just tell me what to eat. Well, if I just tell you exactly what to eat, that might be fine in the short term. And in the long term, it doesn't really work, because just like nature, we ebb, we flow, we grow. Things that work for us now don't work for us later. Things that worked for us before. It's like we're always evolving. So if I can bestow upon you not only the sacredness of a relationship between you and your food, your own personal mastermind, your own little tiny, beautiful little mastermind between your food and yourself, along with every hack and trick, and I mean, you name it, no matter what the lifestyle is, I can share every trick for it. Whether you want to eat carbohydrates, how do you lower your glucose before you have some cake or pasta or something like that, or it's keto lifestyle, how do you make it more alkaline, or it's vegan lifestyle. I mean, like I'm an encyclopedia of hacks and ways to make that particular thing work for you. So the overarching theme is this relationship between you and your food. And it creates a frequency, a weaving between you and your food. And there's a conversation between the taste in your mouth and what your body says, and seeing that from your spirit's perspective. So your spirit is, would you agree with me? Your spirit's having a human experience? Please let me know in the chat. So our spirit is having a human experience and having this experience with food. And if you see it from that perspective, then your body, your spirit wants to indulge and taste things that are creamy and salty and amazing and healthy, right? The designer foods with chemicals in it, do you really think your spirit is like, wow, that's amazing? It might be like, whoa, overload. And is it though? Is it like nourishing? Your spirit really wants to create or experience things that are poisonous? I don't think so. So the indulgence is important and the nutritional part is important. So how do you have that? How do you clear that connection? That is why I chose what I'm about to share with you of what you're going to eat for the 10 days. It is a classic way to clean and clear your system. So if you're eating a lot of meats, giving your body a break from meat will allow things to cleanse. It takes a lot of energy to digest meat. It's incredibly helpful for some bodies, and some bodies it's not. High fat diet with the healthy fats, the vegan fats, it's really healthy for some people it's not. High carbohydrate diet works for some people not. Every lifestyle can work for some people and some people it doesn't. So what I'm presenting in this 10-day is that you give your body a break from one of these 5 categories. And more than like, there's 3 categories that are pretty obvious that you should give your body a break from. So one of them is processed foods. So what is processed foods? And as I speak this, I would like for you all to just feel the difference in frequency of giving your body a break, or I can't have that. I'm on a diet, I can't have that. I'm on a cleanse, I can't have that. And I'm giving my body a break. I'm going to see what else there is for my spirit to experience in human form. So processed foods also includes gluten-free organic crackers, anything that's been touched by human, man, woman, any person, and they take it from its natural form and package it and put it into a box. More than likely, it has been processed. So I implore you to read the ingredients, to have that conversation with yourself. We have the innate it's a skill that we have, knowing whether something's poisonous or not. But if we don't give our body a break from something, we're not clearing the connection between our gut and our mind and our spirit and our knowingness. Because you don't need me telling you eat more vegetables or increase your protein intake. You really don't need me telling you that. And if I lay every bite out for you, at some point that you're going to start changing, you're going to need a new lifestyle. And then what do? You come back to me for every single bite, then you're always looking outside of yourself. So as you're giving your body a break, cultivate that relationship between you and the plate. So processed foods. All right. Sugar. This is a broad subject, right? Sugar is, we know the refined sugar, and a lot of people say, well, I don't eat candy. But sugar is also maple syrup, honey, coconut sugar. Our body doesn't know the difference between the glucose in coconut sugar as it does in table sugar, believe it or not. It's just that white sugar has been processed more, so there's a layer of poisonous sort of chemical compound, who knows what they do in it. And in our bodies internally, it still responds the same way. Tons and tons of fruit is still processed as a sugar in your body. So in my recipe book, I do include fruit, and I'm going to put it into your hands to decide how much. I want you to notice that if you decide to eat fruit, fruit has some really great digestive enzymes. It has fiber. It has a lot of wonderful things, medical medium. A lot of people just really encourage that. Wonderful. See what works for you. See what comes up, the little whispers. Yeah, processed foods, I probably could get away from that. I could probably give my body a break from that. Well, what am I going to eat instead? Lead with curiosity. Go to the ebook. See what kind of snacks I've offered. I actually don't eat fruit very often, and it's really warm right now in the spring. I'm going to see how my body does with that. Lead with curiosity. So processed foods, sugar, dairy, obvious what that is, cheese, milk, butter, and meat, all the animal meats. Processed foods, I'm going to go back to that, because just because I said give your body a break from meat, that doesn't mean substitute with the vegan meats. Those are very, very, very processed. Look at the ingredients. Is the ingredients really from the earth? Are the ingredients something that you recognize? Google it. Just because it says organic, natural, good for you, all of those labels, it's like the nutrition industry. It's a massive information. Use your intuition to clear up your intuition, because some people say, well, I eat intuitively and my gut is still a mess. Your body is never sabotaging you. It's not out to get you. It is trying its best to give the notes, the signals, the signs. Hey, this isn't working for me. Or, hey, I need better gut biome. And honestly, as you communicate with your body and you create this sacredness with what you're eating, the frequency, the molecules in the food, the molecules in your body, everything starts to harmonize. I've seen it with so many clients. I've seen it with myself over and over again. Just changing the way you eat makes a huge difference. I hope that all makes sense to you guys. You just picked vegan. That's really cute. Raw vegan. So as you start saying, I've been eating raw vegan. I was raw vegan for a long time. And at some point it stopped working for me. And through my curiosity, I was able to explore something different. And then there was a long period of time where I was alkaline keto and was having really great results, and fasting another long period of time, having really great results. And then at some point, my body's like, you know what? It's trail running season and you need like 4 times as much protein as you've been eating, sister. So please get up first thing in the morning and consume protein. So as I've cultivated this relationship with myself, I'm guided by my spirit, who is so excited to be in this physical body rendered right here, exploring the sacredness of food. I hope that makes sense. It's something that I don't hear in the nutritional world at all. I hear psychology about it. That's not what we're talking about. I hear all the rules under the sun and polarity and people arguing and they've got the right way. That's not what I'm talking about. If you say to me, okay, I'm going to do this plant excursion. That's how I see these next 10 days. It's a plant excursion. If you're like, I'm already on a plant excursion. What about the sugar excursion? How much sugar are you eating? What about the processed food excursion? A lot of times when people are eating vegan, they're eating processed foods. Okay, well, I'm not doing any of that. I'm completely raw vegan and I'm eating everything plant. Did you feel the frequency in that? Is that and so maybe that's what I consider a little more intermediate advanced way of experiencing this, because we have momentum when we're working as the mastermind in the group and the momentum all together, right? So maybe you've got the rules and the structure just dialed, but perhaps your relationship with your food is a little rigid. What if you treated your lover with that rigidity? How would your lover respond to you? Probably not open, would be my guess. And I see and experience and invite you to see and experience food as that sensual relationship. We are on automatic pilot when it comes to food, and it is the earth that we are able to ingest. And so through the 10 days, I will be describing, guiding you through how to create that relationship. And the ebook is it's very simple. It has recipes. It has things that I love. It has just also a different perspective on what frequencies are and what energy is, and just some basic stuff. I love writing so much. So, oh, good. I'm glad that makes total sense. So some of the questions that I also received, please chat and please text, put any of your questions in the chat. So did that make sense on what we're eating for the next 10 days? Is that even though I've given you guys a guide to eating, exploring plants, it's not a vegan diet. For me, 10 days, I'm going to be giving my body a break from dairy. So giving my body a break from protein with the trail running season, and it's springtime here in Boulder, and I'm running like 3.5 miles a day and I love it. And I'm gobbling it up before I leave town. Giving my body a break from heavier proteins is just not the time of my life for that. So choose what you want to give your body a break from. That's up to you. And I kind of see it as, when you're learning a new language, and I can sense some of you saying, just tell me exactly what to eat. Just give me the guidance. There's no time windows of when you're going to eat with this. I want you to choose. So it's like learning a new language, and you go into Spanish class. We're just going to choose Spanish. Not that the language matters, but you go into Spanish class and day one, and the teacher's only speaking Spanish, and you're like confused. And by the end of the first week, you've got it, right? You understand. You can sense what the person's saying. And then by the next couple of weeks, as you practice, then you're able to converse in this new language. And so it's the same thing. I will continue to put the onus on you, and I am here as your guide. So you choose what you want to give your body a break from. You explore, even if you're doing all the right things, explore how you're eating, explore when you just decide to eat. Explore what you say to yourself before you're eating. What are the cues? How do you decide a little bit later on? You're like, okay, I've had protein, my body needs greens. Does this work for me? Really establish that dance and relationship between you and your body. That's how we reset. So with Mas's frequencies at the beginning and the celebration at the end, with my guidance, with Dr. East, we switched her live from her teaching ageless to more of an interactive coaching. So I'll be changing that in the access page today. I just spoke with her today, and she's like, I woke up this morning with this inspiration. So there's going to be, and then even with the supplements with Greg, there's a lot of interaction, asking questions, real-time answers. I really love connection. Connection in relationship to everything in life, between you and your spirit, between you and your food, between you and the earth, all happening right now in this moment is pure magic. So I hope that makes sense. So one of the other questions, let me look at my little list here. So it can become a cleanse for you if you decide to even give your body a break from sugar for 10 days. If you say, you know what, oh, alcohol was the other one. So if you say, you know, processed foods, sugar, meat, dairy, alcohol, you can just choose one of those and use the support of this mastermind, of this group, of the momentum. And, you know, it's so supportive, because it might seem a little scary, like, with sugar, you can have pretty big withdrawals. And send me your questions. If you say, you know what, I'm giving my body a break from all processed foods, that includes pastas and breads and anything that man-made, which is a lot of carbohydrates, it's a lot of starches. How do I balance out my body from that? And I have tips in all of the daily emails. So you'll get a little daily video of me saying, hello, welcome to day 2, and some tips and stuff. So we talk about beauty products. A lot of that's listed in the access page. Supplements are listed in the access page. And then daily, you'll get me coming on and saying, hello. And one of the tips is how to use apple cider vinegar to help with your glycemic and your glucose levels. So it's like, I am a encyclopedia of tricks and hacks. So write in, and myself or my team will be happy to help you with that. Let me look and see. Please write in any other questions. Thank you, team. So I covered the eating windows. And as far as substitute for things like chickpeas, in the recipe, you don't have to eat anything I've suggested. And I would use Google for that and say, you know, substitute for chickpeas in a dessert menu. And we have ChatGPT will answer that for you happily. we have too much information. We have too much information and not enough connection. And so that's really what I'm bringing to you. You know, Dorothea, I actually healed through XI and through this relationship that I'm speaking of. I healed my own thyroid and got off my medications. So it is absolutely possible. You can take all the medications you're normally on. I'm not asking you to stop your medications. And yes, Haley, coffee is life. What I started doing to up my protein intake in the morning, because I was doing keto coffee, and which is fats and coffee, which is fantastic. And then I started adding a scoop of my whey in with my coffee. And VitaSource has a wonderful clean whey. I have a clean way about doing it. And I just blend that with my monk fruit sweetener, and it is creamy and delicious, and my body responds very different. I can feel it different in my stomach, and my body started to shapeshift as I did that consistently. So anything we do consistently will start to show up. And see, so, you know, you're getting to see, for me, like regular coffee brewed has too much acid in it. It's high acidity. So I use mushroom coffee. I have that in the access page. I've been using that coffee for a really long time. It's a specific brand that I get from actually China, where they have all these like monuments and museums about mushrooms and longevity. It was amazing to go over there. Probably 10 years ago, I went over there. So coffee has too much acid in it for me, but that's probably why it's a little heavy on your stomach, Haley. And you can also add something like chlorophyll in water and drink that after, and that will help balance out your stomach for coffee. So ground flaxseed. I would do ground flaxseed because regular flaxseed needs to be broken up in order to really digest through the system. It's just kind of pre-digested if it's ground. And sure, any kind of tomatoes are great. As far as the heavy metals, I haven't had any problems. This particular company, because I flew there and I looked at all their mushroom farms, I saw all of their facilities, I saw the sacredness that they have around everything that they create. And I feel it differently in my body because I've tried other mushroom blends. It's called Alpha. It is, to me, superior. So I haven't specifically taken it to the lab and tested it. Oh, good, Diane. I'm glad you received your greens and whey. It's a great company. Can you chew gum? It's funny that you asked me that. That is my one toxic vice, is chewing gum. And I believe it reminds me of being a happy little girl and chewing massive amounts of gum and having it hang out of my mouth. And just 2 days ago, I said, that's the other thing I'm going to give my body a break from, the bubble mint. So, I mean, it's your choice. If you want to chew gum, notice what it does for you, why you enjoy it, how your stomach responds. I've never had an adverse reaction to the gum that I've been chewing. However, there's just something with the purity, right? My body's like, you are swallowing that aspartame. Right? That's how I want you to make the choices. Not, these are Alli's rules, do it this way. Give it a try, see what works, see what doesn't work, and let me know. I really love interacting with you in email. Ask my team. They know. Oh, good. I'm glad you got this Vita Supreme greens too. Did you guys get the capsule or the powder? I like the capsules because I can just pop them in my mouth. Both. Oh, good. Yeah. Any last questions before we get off? I'm wondering about how I'm going to use the green powder in a shake, because typically I do not do bananas. Okay. I don't do bananas either. Honestly, with that green powder, I mix it with water and I get it in the gullet. It's not something that I sip on. It has a little bit of mint and it doesn't taste horrible. If your body is high acidic, then when you first start drinking the greens, it probably won't taste that great. It'll taste sort of just murky, if that makes sense. And then the more alkaline your body becomes. And again, there's so much research that when I first presented an alkaline diet, people were arguing with me, and you can't change the pH of your body. That's definitely not true. You can, whatever you do consistently. And if you eat a greasy, high acidic food, what do you get? Heartburn. That means your acidity in your stomach has changed. So alkalinity is the same way. It's just a little bit of a slow change. And anything that you consume that's alkaline, like the greens, may taste a little funny in the beginning, but I promise you, your body will acclimate. And then after a while, you'll crave it and you'll want it. And I just would mix it, just start light. I mean, I put enough where it's kind of chunky. That's just me, but just start light and then work your way up. Amazing Grass is great. They're based out of Newport Beach. I've met the founders of that company as well. Honestly, you can't take too many of those capsules. I think I mentioned that in the last talk. I've tried. I would recommend like 3, 4 handful. If what you're consuming is too regimented, think about the energy that has around it. I have to do this. I have to do that. It's got to be these 2 capsules. It's got to be 10. It just doesn't feel luscious. And consuming food and even supplements should have that luscious frequency. It's like, oh my gosh, imagine if you were foraging for your food, you would sit down and it would be so sacred, and you would give thanks and you would feel so thankful. And so I invite you to have that frequency, to create that relationship between you and your food. It is so beautiful. to be able to have that and to have the attention on that. So when you're in a hurry and you're eating, just kind of notice what that is, you know? So, oh, good. I'm excited to have all of you. Thank you for taking this time. Are there any last questions about is it clear on what you're going to be eating, what you're going to be giving your body a break from? Okay, good. Okay, good. Great. Wonderful. So, also, the code for $100 off, the SNR 100, is good through midnight tonight. So if you haven't signed up yet, maybe my team will put that in the chat. You can still use that through tonight. And I opened up 2 more spots for people to do a complimentary 20-minute session with me. And because that is, so if you use the SNR code today and you're eligible for one of the 2 spots for the complimentary 20-minute session. And Diane, I appreciate you rescheduling. There's been a lot going on with creating this program, and on that note, I'm so thankful for my beautiful team. Without them, I would not be able to present such a beautiful program. Thank you. What else? Am I missing anything else? Oh, and because I normally don't offer the 20-minute session, you sign up with the SNR code, and then I'll reach out to you with a private link for you to book. And my next opening is in June. Yes, thank you, team. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing all of you on Saturday, and let me know through the email info@allisuternutrition.com if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember, with reverence and harmony, we choose every bite. I'll see you then.